Alright, so this is another decode video, and this is actually an update on the decode video and post that I did on the death of Capital Steez and his ritualistic numeric connections to Jesus Christ. Um, and I have some organic uh, connections to present as well. I went back and I found some new things. I made some more connections, um, as I'm, evolving and continuing to get better with gematria and see more, just, um, see more patterns, and I can just connect the dots better and make more connections. I revisited his death, in this post and added on to it. So this is just an update video on, on him. So let's just get into it. So I'm going to start from around the middle. I mean, as you guys can see, I added a lot to it, but let's see. We're going to start here. All right. So just to recap, his last tweet he put out was on December 23rd, 2012, and that date has numerology of 67 as 12 plus 23 plus 20 plus 12 equals 67, right? And specifically the tweet read "the end." If you guys haven't watched my first video on Capital Steez's death and decode on it, you can either watch the video or visit this post. Doesn't really matter, or both. But yeah, it's all there for you guys to know. So, um, but yeah, so his last tweet, um, the date of his last tweet has numerology of 67, and that's important because blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, sacrificed, crucifixion, all equal 67 in Gematria. In the 4-base ciphers, remember, I just, for the most part, 95% of the time, more than that, I'm using the base ciphers, the 4-base ciphers. It gives you, when you open the gematria calculator, right? I use the Jewish calculator, or the Jewish cipher, to only show really how death and homicide equal 118. But I mean, besides that, I'm literally only using the 4-base ciphers. That's it. So, and for some more 67 connections, um, it's believed that, and this is where I started adding here, it's believed that 3 stakes were, or nails, but you can say stakes because they're bigger. It's believed that 3 stakes were used to crucify Jesus, and the term 3 stakes equals 67. And you see how this connects to Christ, obviously. And the day Pro Era released their Peep the Apocalypse mixtape was on December 21st, 2012. And that date, written just how it is on the screen in Gematria, equals 67. And, or actually, I'll get to that later. But anyways, just gonna go ahead and say that's 3 days before Steez's death. So you might already can make that connection, but I'll get to it later. Anyways, the prime number of 67, all those 67 connections, not only do they connect to Jesus, they connect to Jesus, but they connect to his age, right? The prime number of 67 is 19, and Capital Steez died at 19 years old. And you could also say he died in his 20th year of life, and that's important because cross in the most pure cipher, the full reduction cipher, equals 20. And a cross looks like what letter? A lowercase t, right? And t is the 20th letter in the alphabet. And R.I.P., the term's R.I.P., rest in peace, right? And death, both equal 20. not this, this stuff isn't an accident. I'll tell you, when I get, I'll make it clear when I get to the organic, what I believe to be organic gematria. But anyways, Steez's last tweet reads the end, like I said, and the end has gematria of 106. Prophecy has gematria of 106. He was black. Black equals 106, and black Christ. The term black Christ equals 106. Um, something I added up here actually. Black Christ also equals 74, and we know how big 74 is. It fits in with all these other Jesus connections and connections to the occult is occult equals 74. I didn't even put that in here. I mean, guys, I could put all the 74 connections in posts, but I mean, they would be so freaking long. I mean, occult equals 74, gematria equals 74, English equals 74, and then all these Jesus connections, as you can see on the screen, 74. I mean, he died on he died on Christmas Eve because he sent the tweet and like right before it turned Christmas Eve, like right before 12 a.m., right? And they say he jumped off the roof and died on like early, like right as Christmas Eve hit. Christmas Eve equals 74. And this stuff is not an accident. This is ritual sacrifice at its finest, literally. Um, Unfortunately as well. But yeah. But I just wanted to make sure you guys know too. I added that up there. Black Christ equals 74. And just to make the point real quick, uh, you know, these rappers being black and being sacrificed, it's not a coincidence. I mean, I'm starting to think if Jesus is real or was real, that he was black, because it's just, it's kind of like, you can't say that they're not targeting them. I know there's always been a big stink about it, and I used to not believe that when I was ignorant, but you see this work and you see, like, how rap has become the biggest, most popular genre of music and how they sacrifice rappers. I mean, so many a year, and good ones. I mean, even good ones like him. Um, Good ones like Steez, it's just like, they do. I mean, they do target them more than any other race. So, um, it's but it's for reasons that I don't fully understand. But I will say that they do seem to be targeted more than per se white people. Um, with these black rappers being sacrificed like infinitely more. Just saying. I mean, we just did the Mac Miller decode. I, believe he was sacrificed, and you could tie Jesus in with that, with his a little bit, but they don't ever seem to tie in as much as with black artists, specifically rappers, as the word rapper equals 74 and Jesus equals 74, and I could go on from the rest of my days talking about what equals 74. But, that's just I just thought I'd share that real quick. But anyways, back to the decode. Let's stay on track. Um, as I said, his last tweet reads the end, that equals 106, prophecy equals 106, which this right here is not actual prophecy. This is their false prophecy that they're telling you is prophecy, okay? This is man doing these things. These are man scripting these things, manipulating these things to happen. And even if these things aren't happening, then, you know, they're making it appear like it is, so it fulfills the numerical ritual. So, Yeah, just want to make that clear too. What is believed in this world is prophecy. Most times is not. It's false prophecy. It's man doing what they call prophecy. It's man responsible for what they call prophecy, not actual prophecy, because actual prophecy is from the divine, the universe. Like, it just happens organically. And this stuff is inorganic right now. As the end equals 106 prophecy, 106 black, 106 black Christ, 106, and this to the point that should hit home. Pro Era released their mixtape "Peep the Apocalypse" 3 days before Steez died, and it said that Christ resurrected on the third day of his death. Do you see how they're doing this now? I don't know if Pro Era sacrificed him or what, but I'm just saying I do believe Steez was a sacrifice, and this, at least that's how it appears. By this obviously scripted numerical ritual. Just saying. And, I mean, really, they released their mixtape 3 days before he died. I mean, come on. How is he not gonna appear like a sacrifice? 3 days later he dies? I mean, come on, man. Like, and, Christ resurrects on the third day of his death? At least that it said. This stuff is all just sick and synced up and but anyways, to further make this point concrete, in Matthew 12:40, Jesus says, "For as Jonas was 3 days and nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of earth." Notice the heart of earth part, right? Actually, I'll get to that later. But this verse, right? This line comes from Matthew 12:40. Matthew 12:40. You'll never guess what it equals. 106. Now, if you cannot tell me that that is just a coincidence, that is organic. No, this is inorganic. This is scripted. This is obviously done by man, okay? This is done by man in a sick way. In a sick, demented way, okay? So, anyways, this, as I said, this proves that Steez was connected to Jesus Christ by the numbers in which, he was sacrificed by the numbers. That is, if he really did die. On the date he said he did, or that said he did, that it says. So, but now to what I was talking about earlier, the organic side of this decode, and remember, Steez's birthday. You guys might not know. I think I mentioned it up here, but actually I didn't. So that's all right. But Steez's birthday. Okay, let's go down here. Steez's birthday is on July 7th, which is written 7/7. Christ equals 777. Okay? Just like sacrifice does. Sacrificed equals 77. He committed suicide by jumping off the cinematic music group's building. And the term cinematic equals 77. Okay? If you take a cube and open it up till it's two-dimensional, it creates a cross. Okay? Cube equals 77. Steez was born the same year that the World Trade Center bombing occurred, which was in 1993. And World Trade Center equals 77. And, there's some things that I'm going to get to a little later about that, with his connection to the World Trade Center bombing, that honestly, I'm on the fence, like, is that organic? Or some of it's like it's telling me that it's scripted. like it was on purpose. Like maybe they lied about his birthday or I don't know, or maybe I don't know, maybe it is organic. He was born for that to be synced up. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't quite understand this. What I'm gonna get to with the 131 connections, but it's so far we're in the organic. But anyways, you know, he was born in 1993, the same year the World Trade Center bombing occurred. I'm voice cracking, shoot. But anyways, World Trade Center equals 77 World Trade Centers. Um, they're in New York, as we know, and that's the biggest city in the United States, and United States equals 77. And and just to make another point about the United States and 77 connecting to Steez and all these other things, um, he made a uh I guess a mixed, yeah, I think it was called a mixtape called American Corruption, with three Ks, and he was just big into exposing America's corruption. I mean, as it says, um, and just the bullshit, and I just kind of find that funny how United States and his birthday written out 7-7, United States equals 77 syncs up because it's like he was he's kind of like trying to be their hero, America's hero. Like, not he. Well, I'm not gonna say he was trying to be, but it's almost like he was, just exposing it, America's corruption, just the bullshit that goes on, and he just wanted to bring light to that, and that's why he got sacrificed. But you know, so, but um, yeah, I just find that interesting. Um, but I do think, that's organic and maybe it's not. I just can't see if it's not organic, I just can't think of how it's not. Like, the only explanation I could have it to be could think of to be this stuff that I just went over so far. This organic stuff, as I call it, natural stuff. Um, the only way I could see it not being so is if, like, they lied about his birthday or something, you know, so I could just be getting screwed up there. Or, um, that's not really his birthday. Or, he was, like, born and bred somehow, on that date to fulfill this ritual. Um, I guess, I mean, that would be inorganic if so, but, you know, um, you never know. But I'm gonna call this stuff still organic because I can't. It doesn't have enough concrete connection. There's not enough concrete connections so far to prove otherwise. But yeah. So Steez was known for speaking truth, and exposing American corruption, and just corruption in general, just bullshit in the world, and speaking on a lot of topics like spirituality, um, and just a lot of stuff relating to that, like sacred geometry and just, real shit, And I noted how you could say that he exposed the Matrix as, it's kind of like a term like this system, like he was exposing the system, the Matrix, right? Or the simulation. As I think, this stuff is like this system is just like so perfectly designed to trap people, enslave people, and that's what's called the Matrix after the movie, um, or as I know it, a simulation. But anyways, Matrix equals 77, just like you know, it's connecting to all these um, other 77 connections, and that's pretty wild too. And keep in mind all these 77 connections, right? And he was born on 7/7. I mean, that's just wild to me. But yeah, but back to Pro Era releasing their mixtape 3 days before Steez died. Christ resurrected on the third day of being dead. But again, in Matthew 12:40, it says, "For as Jonas was 3 nights and 3 days in the whale's belly, so the Son of Man shall be there for 3 days, 3 nights in the heart of the earth." Notice that last part, heart of the earth equals 77. Just to add on, I couldn't find a whole lot of concrete connections to the Jesuits on this one, but I will note this. Okay, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? That progressive era, which is pro era, right? Pro era. The pro stands for progressive era, right? Progressive era does equal 201 and 84. Just like the Jesuit order. And actually, and 177, doesn't it? Yeah, and 177. So, yeah. And that's crazy. And then also, they got the 78 in the most pure cipher, which Jesuit equals 78. I sneezed, okay. Oh, but yeah, I mean, that's just one observation I made. And a lot of people, watching this might have heard rumors about, did Joey Badass sacrifice him? I don't know. And, I'm not going to pretend like I do. I don't know. But, I'm not ruling that out. It just seems to me, that Pro Era definitely was a pawn on the chessboard for, um, you know, whoever, but ultimately all these secret societies go back to the Jesuits. Here's where I was talking about earlier. I'm not sure if it's really up, like I'm on the fence. It's up for debate, I guess. Like, I'm on the fence about it. You could say inorganic or organic or prophetic. Like it seems like some of it seems like it was planned, like it was scripted out. But then again, it's like such a big event that happened. Why would they sync this up with a rap, like a guy, a rapper, an artist? Like his birthday. If that is his real birthday, like how could this be? I like some of it seems like it just organic. Like this is just the universe syncing this up on its own, just that's how it is. Like divine this is a divine connection, not a man-made inorganic connection or ritual. But I guess that's up for debate. But anyways, from the day of the World Trade Center bombing in '93 to Steez's birth date is a span of 131 days, and the term World Trade Center bombing. Keep in mind, this event and his birth are, in the same year, right? 93, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, from that event to Caesar's birthday, 131 days, World Trade Center bombing equals 131. This happened in Manhattan, New York, and Manhattan, NY, stands for New York, equals 131. Caesar's death was, as Caesar's death was a Jesus ritual, Christ ritual sacrifice. Crucifixion equals 131. And that right there, I'm just like, how? It's like that's what makes me think like, okay, how can that? And maybe it's just me being like in awe that it is prophetic, or it is organic, I should say. It's that's how it. What I'm saying is like that's by organic. What I mean is like that's how it was destined to be. You know, just how it is, just like that. And it's like, whoa, that's pretty wild. And I mean, and that further further more concretely connects is Jesus' ritual sacrifice connection. Um, but and again, back to the three stakes thing. Said that three nails are stakes. You could say three stakes because they're big. Were used to crucify Jesus, and the term three stakes also equals 131. And it's like, wow, man. Like, well, here's the thing. It's like I can't. I just can't. I'm trying to think. Like, I can't think of anything to like argue that this was a ritual. Like I don't know. Like it's weird that that all syncs up with the world. His birth date and the World Trade Center bombing. It's very interesting, and you know, I see that as organic, really, but only because I can't prove otherwise, and I'm trying to, like, as I'm reading, like, I'm trying to think how I can, but I just can't at the moment. Um, but if I can, I guess I'll make another update video or something. But it seems like his life was connected to this infamous event organically, as I stated. Um, but there are more seemingly organic connections, as Steez, like I said, was born in 93, or 1993, I should say, same year as the World Trade Center bombing occurred, and he committed suicide by jumping off the building owned by the Cinematic Music Group. Cinematic Music Group equals 93, guys. He was born in 93. I mean, it's like, whoa, man. Crucifix and Nazareth. Nazareth, Jesus's hometown, or known as his hometown. Crucifix and Nazareth both equal 93. And he was known for being very conscious. Very, very conscious. And I just noticed how Christ conscious. Now, this could be a little stretch, I guess, but Christ conscious also equals 93. And not to mention that, in the Jesuit logo, you got the sun, with the sun rays, because Christ, or Jesus, the Son of Man, is really symbolism. It's symbolic of the one way to interpret it, at least, is the sun of the sky, right? Could symbolize the sun in the sky, right? And that's why I didn't include this, but the term sunny equals 93. They say the sun is 93 million miles away, right? Um, something. Oh yeah, and Adam lived to be 930 years old. Rules of numerology cut that zero out. 93 again. Um, and hold on, let me check something. I think I missed one thing. I think I missed one connection that I need to add. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Triclavianism equals 93, and I need to add this to this post. Triclavianism equals 93, and Triclavianism is the belief that Jesus was crucified with 3 nails, right? He was crucified with 3 nails. That's the belief. It's called Triclavianism. It's like, that equals 93 too? And he was born in 93? Really, look, and it's almost like there's so much things that I've decoded here that I call organic connections, that it almost seems like legit. Damn, is like he Christ? No, I don't know. Like, it's either like he was literally like, I don't know how they would do it, but like, maybe he was inorganically born on this certain date to fulfill these numerical rituals, but that's such a stretch, and I can't explain that. That's just such a stretch beyond my comprehension. But anything's possible, but that's just the thought. Like I'm saying, is more reasonable. What I believe until proven otherwise is that, all that I've read and said that it is organic here is just organic. It's just happened because it was destined to by the universe, by all that exists. And that's all I gotta say about that. Here's the gematria. I gotta add that Triclavianism equals 93 as well. So I'll definitely do that. Thank you guys for watching. Please share this. It's just got me thinking, like, how can look, I don't think I've ever decoded someone's death, birth. His death and birth connects to Jesus Christ. Like, his life, his birth and death are both connected to Christ. I've never seen a bigger, I've just never seen a bigger Jesus Christ ritual sacrifice, but I've never seen this much of an organic side to someone, to this decode. Like, I've never seen that. And I found all this and added it. I just knew I had to add all this. And honestly, I know there's a few more things I could add, but some of them seem like stretches, and I just didn't want to put them in here. But yeah, this is the bulk of it. Definitely. This is, like, insane to think about, and, a lot of this I cannot explain, but I can just decode and try to interpret. And, it's wild, but, yeah, it just seems to me like he was really, yeah, his death was an obvious scripted ritual sacrifice, but it's like the way his birth connects to Christ and the event of the World Trade Center bombing. Those two connections are like, wow. Those two connections are wild. Because it's seemingly organic. It seems organic. But, those are just my thoughts on it. I would appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, content, more decodes, because that's about all I do, from time to time, and, share this with people, definitely. Wake the people up. especially the obviously scripted deaths and events that go on in this world, in this crazy, crazy world. Definitely share that knowledge, gematria, and these decodes, Zachary K. Hubbard's decodes, Gematria Effect News 22's decodes. Share that channel. Tell them to subscribe. Just share all that good stuff. Share all that good info with everyone you know. So I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Peace.